entertainment and crypto with S2S tech, postbacks, protocols, and precision.
Hello everyone, welcome to the panel. First a few words about me. My name is Milica, coming from Serbia. I'm an entertainment lawyer for the past 15 years, and here today as a director of a company which is registered in Austria for the virtual trading asset trading. That's about me.
Try the other one, Max. Maybe one should work.
Yeah. So hello everyone. I'm Max Emini. I'm the CTO of Sigma Group and the managing director of our B2C platform, the affiliate side. I'm here to discuss the postbacks, the power of postbacks on the entertainment industry, how they benefit us, and what is the advanced usage of postbacks, not just from a tax perspective, but also from a business perspective.
Yeah, and for me, I work with Voluum for about 7 years. We are an advanced tracking and analytics platform for affiliates and operators. And for us, server-to-server postback is a crucial thing, which I think the industry is adopting right now. So we have someone from the legal perspective, someone from the technological perspective, and also affiliation and the tech platform. So business side connected. So guys, what are server-to-server postbacks and protocols from your perspective in terms of entertainment industry? So how do you find it?
So what is a server-to-server postback? It's basically simply an established channel of communication when both sides of the spectrum understand each other on the parameters and the data they're sending. So basically there you have, let's say, business A on one side and business B on the other side. These businesses need to share some kind of data together, and they establish a channel of communication with very well-known parameters that mean something to them. So it's sort of a standardization technology which helps all the businesses connect together and share the data in the most transparent manner.
Yeah, thank you. This really helped me also understand from my colleague here is that it's just a channel of communication, which actually makes it even more sellable, so to say. So coming from a legal and regulatory side, helping operators apply for the licenses in the entertainment industry and then in a virtual asset trading industry, we see that the regulators are expecting more and more data to receive, more accurate data to receive, more and more real-time data to receive. And the bottom line here is that the operators are used to see compliance as the blockage or as something that is slowing down the business in the past. I think more and more we can see this side of the regulation as a door opener when competing with other operators at the market entry side, since for the market entry the licenses are requirements. So I see this technology or the channel of communication is really, really beneficial when applying for the licenses and talking to the regulators to make them feel more comfortable with what we are doing, what the operators, when speaking from the operator's side. So we are providing the safer environment of the data exchange, the more secure and accurate data, and full compliance, which is even, so the regulators normally, sorry I'm taking too much time now, but the regulators are normally not requesting certain technology when it comes to the data exchange. They define in which form they want the data. So this technology actually is giving security to the regulator to say, okay, so this client, this operator is actually going to fulfill the requirements.
Like a better selling point, not 100%. Also for the business side, but also for the regulatory side, right? So our perspective in Volume is the data tracking and communication. So predominantly we started with paid media user acquisition, but now we support also SEO-driven user acquisition. And in that case, you need to have fast and reliable data, what works for you or what does not. So predominantly server-to-server postbacks, and that's the main aspect here, that the old school type of data tracking and communication was predominantly based on cookies. So third-party entities, browser-generated, that were easy to manipulate. And this also brings us to the legal aspect and compliance aspect. Server-to-server postback is first party. It is connecting one platform with another. And that's the perspective. So basically, it was a user generation aspect. But as you were, Milica, saying, this is also vital for having better opportunities to enter the market, better licensing aspect, right?
Yes, definitely. So any kind of a cookies requires the customer consent or acceptance of it. So knowing that many browsers are by default blocking the cookies, meaning that the starting point is wrong. So the customer, you won't have the customer's consent, meaning that on the operator's side, whoever the operator is, you are not compliant.
So it's not only about having not as good data for channeling your paid media campaigns or SEO campaigns, but it's also, it might backlash a problem with the regulatory perspective, right?
Definitely.
But Max, so in your perspective, you in Sigma Group, you're focusing on SEO-driven traffic mostly.
Mainly, yes.
So
Mainly.
why postbacks for SEO affiliate?
So postbacks are important because of accuracy, transparency, and standardization. So to put it simple, when you enter a link on your web browser, sometimes you will see that some links have certain parameters like FB click ID, which represents the Facebook click ID. For example, if you share a link with Facebook. These parameters can be customized, and you can have your own parameters, which the other side understands, and they can be established in terms of sharing data. Let's say, for example, I want to know more about a certain amount of traffic or certain amount of geo that I'm sending. This is something that I could request as a parameter from the other side by telling them, hey, look, I'm going to give you this click, but please give me back more information related to this. And why is this important? Because it's a direct communication. You're not dependent on cookies. You're not dependent on browser. You're not dependent on anything. It works real time, and you get the data real time. And especially when you're an SEO, paid media, and even social, having the data on a timely manner is crucial and critical.
So that is the case of what is that technology, but let's maybe discuss the difference, the past, so how it operated before, and what are the advantages, but also challenges that comes with this technology right now.
Well, for me, it's probably, speaking from my side, it's probably one thing. It's the manipulation, which was very prone to be happening and still is with the traditional technology, which is, as you mentioned, browsers, cookie-based pixels. And that will be for me the biggest advantage of the S2S postbacks. Yeah.
From my perspective, there were 3 disadvantages in the past, which I think postbacks solve. One is high maintenance. Second is lack of accuracy. And the third one is lack of granularity of data, which is also very important. So before, without postbacks, you had a lot to maintain. You had a lot to figure out manually, cross channels, having multiple tools just to realize and understand your user journey. With postbacks, that becomes much simpler. Now also when it comes to accuracy, with postbacks, you can get the accurate data real time. You don't have to cross-check and assume that this certain traffic is coming from a certain region or a certain platform. Then the third thing is the granularity of data. In the past, what you knew was you only had the information, let's say the most basic information, which is maybe the journey of the user, the geos, the regions that they came from, where they clicked, and so on. Now, with postbacks, you can go very deep and understand completely the user behavior, which helps you, of course, then optimize your campaigns or optimize your user journey and even personalize the user journey of any incoming users to your website.
I believe from that perspective, what I see on the daily basis working with our clients with Volume is the real-time aspect of this data. So again, I will focus on our part, user acquisition, and maybe then we can connect it with the compliance and anti-money laundering or account protection. But the main aspect is that with a standard process that you need to log into your affiliate panel and check the stats there. Sometimes you see any information about the performance of your activities after a day, after a couple of hours. You see some signups and FTDs. So if you want to optimize it, especially on PPC campaigns with high budgets, the risk margin and time when you are running blind is super high. With server-to-server postbacks, you get this data real time or close to real time. And what we see now that the major affiliate platforms used by operators in the entertainment business, they start implementing this technology, so it's getting more standardized. So, but that's the user acquisition part. I was wondering, first of all, Max, what's your take on it? And Milica, to you, how this could touch this operator protection?
Well, this is a very good question. Thank you for asking this. So the reason that we are having this panel, and this is the second panel, is to advocate for a certain standardization of how we share and communicate the data, which benefits all sides of the business, of the industry, and especially the user or the visitor. The way to do this is by establishing a standard on how we share the data through postbacks. Postbacks is a technology that enables that. It's not a heavy technology. It's not something that you need developers to build it and develop it on both ends. It's just a simple channel of communication. And the more people embrace this technology, the better it becomes for everyone. So it's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And so you just mentioned the user acquisition, and we all know how important is that on one side. And on the other side is to have the, say, protected way of acquiring the customers. And then the technology allows us to have a better niche. And then how we define that niche can be different. Speaking only from the marketing side, it can be the aggressive marketing, aggressive acquisition. But speaking from the regulatory side, it can be speaking about the responsible entertaining. It can be from the risk assessment matrix, which is required now on the AML side. Yeah. So we can implement all of these categories, which is really revolutionary. So we can have the campaign which includes the boxes which are important, is the level, the low, medium, and high level of potential entertainment addictions, which we have on the same matrix. We can fill out the medium, low, and high risk customers on the AML side, which I think that this cross-platform connection is unique, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because it all starts from tracking down single action as much precise as possible. So when we have this data about, well, activity, click, segment that converted in the entertainment business for signups or FTDs, then we could use this data, the very same data in the CRM, to match it with the player journey, right, and all these activities.
Yeah, one is for sure. So we need to know the player's journey from all the angles.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. And when we talk here about data, we're talking about data that is non-personal data. So it's data that is beneficial, but we are not breaking any kind of rules or GDPR or anything. We're talking about data that could be used for business requirements and could be used to benefit the player to experience a better user journey. This is something, you know, when we explain postbacks and we speak about collecting the data, immediately, you know, we tend to be attuned that, hey, are they collecting too much information about me? Do they know so much about me? That's not the case. Here, it's only understanding the journey and optimizing the journey of the user.
Exactly, that's the thing. So the main parameter for server-to-server postback, it's click ID. It could be called differently, but it's just a randomized combination of numbers and digits and letters that could identify a session. So it couldn't be mapped. That's why this technology is GDPR compliant, which is another perspective if you want to enter a regulated market, besides having the regulatory licensing requirements, you need to also have some GDPR proof, right? So that's also something which can help you. But it doesn't allow you to understand or map anything beyond this session activity. It's very precise, but also very anonymous in that case.
Exactly. And there is also an advanced use. So as we stand right now, postbacks are used more as a one-channel communication, one-way communication. So you, from one side, you send a request, hey, I need this information, send it back to me. So that's one way of communicating. But postbacks have a much more advanced use. So it could be a two-way channel, which means that you can send information, and based on this information and this criteria or these parameters, you can give me a more advanced collection of your information. So it becomes like a streamlined channel of communication, real-time channel of communication between one side of the business and another business on the other side.
That's true, and but we sound very positive right now. So it's not even a fireside chat, right? We are not arguing, we are preaching the technology, which I believe is true because this technology is a game changer. But guys, what are the drawbacks? What are the challenges? What are the disadvantages of that?
To be honest, I tried hard to find the disadvantages. I'm not speaking from the technical side. I'm just speaking as idea of having all the relevant data makes all the compliance people easier, makes the regulator approve the license application easier, faster, more efficient way of tracking the data. You mentioned before this is not the data that we are not allowed, or in any case shouldn't be transferred. I'm speaking about the compliance. This is a data which is required to be transferred, so it's a must. And speaking about the on the AML side, it's a must to report certain data. Speaking about the KYC, it's a must to collect the data. It's not the option. So this technology just brings the more efficient way of doing it.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm also trying hard to find what would be the disadvantage. I think one of the biggest disadvantages is embracing this new technology.
Yeah.
And the challenges with embracing is because it's still not known what could go wrong or how will this all turn out. And transitioning from something that has been used for a certain amount of years to something which is quite innovative and is currently working, it takes a lot of advocacy and education, I would say, on one side. Another disadvantage which could be is that there has to be an agreement on how we communicate the data. And that starts with business partnerships and thinking big. Okay, if I have an agreement with this business, how am I benefiting and how is the other side benefiting? And we need to start thinking on how the whole entertainment industry is benefiting from it. So I think these would be the two main challenges. As far as it comes to technicalities, all you need is a browser and the usage of internet, and I don't think there are any kind of impediments here.
Yeah, I agree with you, especially the adoption part. So we entered iGaming industry a couple of years ago, but the company originated in the media buying affiliation space, which is a bit different. So from our perspective, there, server-to-server postbacks were essential, but entertainment industry is far a bit older, so there were habits. There was the old school technology existing here, and we all know how difficult it is to change the habits. And the bigger a company is, the bigger the operator is, the more difficult this aspect is. So what I see, one of the change makers are affiliates, because you guys, especially paid media, PPC affiliates, you need a good data and technology. But it's super interesting that another change maker might be a regulatory advisor. So in your case, would you, Milica, recommend this technology for someone who's applying for a license?
I will, and then we spoke before, and some ideas are coming. I think in the near future, regulators will be using it. So regulators will be using this channel of communication between themselves and the operators.
So to having super direct.
That's something that I see happening in the future. Maybe I'm wrong, but.
No, absolutely. You're right. Absolutely. We have embraced postbacks, and we could immediately see the difference because thanks to postbacks and having the data real time and with 100% accuracy, you are becoming transparent with the other side of the business, or the other business, or your business partners, better said. Because you both now understand that, hey, this is what we are doing together. This is the data that we are sharing together. And this is your benefit, and this is my benefit. So there is full transparency.
So I think we are in the middle of a change process, but this change process goes faster even than we expected. So guys, we could be talking for another 20 minutes, but I see our time is up. If anyone has some questions, we are at your disposal after the panel. And thank you for this interesting conversation.
Thank you, Marcin. Thank you, Milica.
Thank you very much.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.